Welcome back, you guys. I'm currently recovering from my amniocentesis procedure. I am just relaxing per doctor's orders for about 24 hours. You're not supposed to lift anything heavy or do anything strenuous. So I'm just this blob of brown and beige on the couch watching trash TV, living the life. But I wanted to tell you about the procedure. I was pretty worried about it. And then it was easy. It was a lot faster than what I expected. It was a lot less scary than what I expected. So I'm just going to briefly talk about it and just go through kind of what it was. Because it was a lot easier than what I thought. So yeah, let's just talk about it. Also, if I drop the camera, I'm holding it on one of those tripods and my left arm is going numb. I usually film these in my living room, but since I'm in full couch potato mode, it's a little shaky because I'm getting a forearm workout. The procedure. To start, I got up at 7 a.m. The hospital that I'm going to, switching arms, is about 40 minutes away. And I thought, okay, there might be some traffic, so I'm just gonna get up early. I had my husband drive me. Went into the office. They had me use the restroom. The room that I personally was in was kind of your standard ultrasound room. Nothing stood out to me at all. It was just your basic ultrasound room. The girl started the process by she called it like a pre-anatomy ultrasound. So took a ton of pictures, looked at everything, looked at all the different anatomy, and I'm 17 weeks, 3 days. I should probably have said that. But looked at everything down to like the gallbladder, the little details as in like, arms, legs, fingers, all of that. And as she was taking these pictures, she was telling us what everything was and the whole purpose behind it, which I really, really appreciated, was she said they do like a pre-anatomy scan. They do more at the 20-week mark because if they see anything, sometimes you'll tell somebody that and then they won't go through with the amnio. They'll decide like later, why did I even do the amnio if something was that critically wrong? And then the pregnancy isn't carried out. So they always like to go through, make sure that everything is healthy and normal before they actually proceed with poking someone, which is so considerate and so smart. And they took a good amount of time. I would say like 20, 30 minutes just taking pictures and looking at everything. I mean, the gallbladder, like I said, is like crazy, like how small that is to a lot of time on the heart, the spine, the legs, all that fun stuff. So took all the pre-images. Now, once those pre-images were done, she went ahead and went and talked to the doctor and gave me consent forms. So I read through the consent forms. It does talk about how there's a risk of miscarriage and infection. I mean, the risk is 1 in 900. And obviously with infection, yes, things can happen with anything. So read through all that and signed. And then the witness line, the attending actually had to sign. I did make sure that I requested an attending to do this just because it's very invasive and I wasn't comfortable with a fellow doing it, but that's just because I was paranoid. Fellows also do an amazing job. So if you get a fellow, don't necessarily worry about that. I'm just a little extra. It helps with my anxiety, okay? And then started to proceed with the actual procedure. The procedure itself was very, very fast. So she started by looking herself with the ultrasound because before it was the ultrasound tech looking at all the anatomy. So she took a quick look herself. She palpated with her fingers on my stomach to like find the area that she actually wanted to poke. And then once she did that, they proceeded with sterile precautions and sterile prep. So what they did was you saw her scrub all the way down her hands up to her elbows. And then from there, she had an assist with putting the sterile gloves on and all the tools and such were sterile in the wrapper, standard protocol for that. And then she took, I want to say, I'm going to say it. I don't think it's right. I'm going to say it. I'm going to risk it. Iodine? I'll correct myself if it's wrong. But she took this orange substance to clean my stomach area. The whole area was just scrubbed with this orange substance that I will fact check myself on. Then a sterile drape was placed kind of on my lower part of my legs near my pelvis bone. So my entire stomach was sterilized for this procedure. Okay, this arm is going so numb, but I'm gonna get through this video. Once I was sterilized, she then had her gloves on and everything. Everything was super clean, and she punctured my abdomen. I tried to stay as calm as possible. I tried to do like very easy breathing. She didn't tell me to do that, but I tried to keep my stomach very still. When I felt the needle go in, it hurt maybe like a 3 out of 10, but then she said you're gonna feel a little bit of a cramp, and I felt like that pushing, and it did feel like localized cramping around the area. So she withdrew the needle, and then just the catheter was in there, and she started to pull 30 mLs of the amniotic fluid. I wanna say that cath was only in there for maybe like a minute. I didn't really watch it first. I just kept my eyes shut and just focused on my breathing. It was kind of making me a little nauseous just because it was more like a mental thing. It was like the thought of a catheter inside of me after seeing my very active baby. Yeah, I just kind of had to put myself in a different mental spot. But once I knew we were nearing the end, I did open my eyes and look, and I saw my baby just kind of like backed up inside the uterus, like trying to get away from it as much as possible. My husband said that he kind of reached his hand out a little bit to try to play with the cath, but then decided to pull that back as well. So it was very smooth. I was very calm. The baby stayed away from it. The attending did say that it's not uncommon for them to get curious and try to play with it. And now the cath is plastic, not a needle, so they just kind of mess with it a little bit. But everything went very, very quickly and very smoothly. And then as soon as that cath was pulled out, that little cramping feeling went away. Thankfully, it's kind of weird. It was not very comfortable, but it also was not very extreme. And this is the area that it was done. They said the Band-Aid is for show. Now, the care instructions were actually pretty simple. I am not supposed to lift anything for 24 hours over 10 pounds. I need to be on the lookout for a fever. I need to be aware that cramping can happen. I can take Tylenol for that if I need it, and spotting can happen, but those things are all normal. And usually if something's gonna go wrong, that happens within the first 2-3 days. So I decided to just take it so easy. I'm just, like I said, on the couch, not doing a thing, watching all the trash TV. And I took the day off from work tomorrow as well. I am taking Lovenox, which is a blood thinner. I was instructed to stop taking that medication 24 hours before this procedure, just to make sure, just precautionary. It probably still would have been okay. No one seems super worried about it, but I will resume that tomorrow. They said I can walk around and do normal things, but just for my peace of mind, I'm gonna be here, not angering anything, hydrating really well, eating well-ish, if you count killing a breakfast burrito, eating really well-ish, and chilling, just chilling. But again, I made it a really big deal, and it was easy. It was so easy. And it's normal to feel scared. Like they said at the end, take your time. I know that was really intense, so I'm sure it's like very scary to a lot of women. And of course, I mean, it's very invasive, but try to stay calm. It's a lot easier than you think it is. And in case you're wondering, the reason why I decided to do it, the NIPT results came back low risk for everything, but I'm 35. And because I'm 35, I just want as much information as possible. And so I just opted to do it. I just would rather be fully informed on everything. You absolutely do not have to. And no one should force you to do this. If this is against your religion, if this is against like your beliefs, if you just aren't interested in it, that's absolutely your right. But me personally, I'm a more information kind of girl. And so even though it did carry a small risk, I just decided to do it. And I'm happy about it. It's over with. Results come back in about 10 days, I think. So anyway, that's it. If you're going through it, breathe easy. Just remember, you can always say no, that you don't have to do it. And if you do it, just try to tell yourself to do these all the time. It's very routine, and it's very rare for something to go on. It's not completely ruled out, but it's very rare. So just breathe, bring a partner. My husband was there. You got this. Take care of yourself and you'll be fine. You'll be fine, girl. I promise. I can't promise because there's always a 1% chance, but I 99% promise that you'll be totally fine. Enjoy your day. I'm gonna be here.